Welcome everyone to Apex Racing TV for another round of the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series presented by 42 Stitches. We are here at the super windy Road America. The wind is high, 25-mile-an-hour wind, so these drivers are going to be really battling against this hard wind. Well, join alongside me is Dane Baird, and in the production booth is Smoothly Kumo. Dane, we're back for another round of this exciting series. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. It should be a good round. We've got some good old long straights here at Road America and some fairly twisty bits as well. I'm really looking forward to it. One of my personal favourite circuits on the service, and with the great racing that we've seen throughout the season, I'm expecting nothing less today.
Yeah, this Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series presented by 42 Stitches. They always put on a great show, and this is a track that it's gonna, you really don't see these cars race here probably too often, but with these long straights, they're gonna be able to utilize the draft and to make moves before we before the qualifying session ends. I'd like to thank 42 Stitches for full service custom apparel. Check out 42 Stitches. They specialize in embroidery, heat transfer. They can take your idea from sketch to finished product, everything from shirts to hats to masks to gaiters. Check them out at 42stitches.com. So it's always good to have them along. Check them out with the at 42stitches.com at info@42stitches.com to get projects started. 42 Stitches has you covered. So yeah, Dane, always good to have them helping out. But qualifying is just about to get over here at Road America. Do you think the starting position will be as important as it was a couple weeks ago?
I don't think so. I mean, of course, we saw at Okayama it was fairly difficult for the drivers to overtake, and that played into the strategy of the race quite a bit. But I don't think it's going to be quite as difficult here. Like I said, we've got some long straights, whether that be the main pit straight or the straight just between turns 3 and turns 5. Missing out turn 4, which is just a kink in the straight. But yeah, it's going to be a interesting race. I think we're going to see quite a bit of drafting. I wasn't expecting any drafting at Okayama, but we saw it, so I think we can guarantee drafting here today.
Yeah, we'll definitely see a lot of draft here at Road America. Long straights. It's kind of your typical American track. A lot of 90-degree turns. It's a really fun track. The one thing I'm looking forward to is watching these Spec Racer Fords go up the hill on the front straightaway, going to the finish line. It's a big hill. I've seen it in person, Dane, and there's no joke about it. It's a huge hill.
Absolutely, and with the massive grid that we have here, it's gonna be quite some time before we get the entire grid past the finish line. It's gonna be cool to see all the drivers heading through there. It's quite narrow, the main straight, with the pit wall very close on the right hand side as you drive, and then a fairly long run down and towards turn number 1. So it's gonna be a good one, I think, for the massive grid that we've got. Once again, always huge grids here in the Weekend Warriors series. This week we have got, what is that, 53 cars on the grid. So 53 cars heading into turn 1 is going to be quite something.
Yeah, real big grid. We always see a large grid here at the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series. Always good racing. With the S1 class and the S2 class, the drivers with over 3,000 iRating, they'll be signified with numbers 0 to 199, and drivers under 3,000 would be 200 and above. And the guy who's been dominating that S2 class is sitting 5th in qualifying, Antonio Reyes, putting on a stellar effort in that class. We'll see him in the S1 class, I'm sure, next season. But Dane, like you said, very narrow, but these cars are very small on that front straightaway, so we could see 3 or 4 wide as the laps go down. It's a rolling start here for the Spec Racer Ford series. I was watching a couple races earlier today on the official side, and yeah, Dane, this is gonna be really exciting.
Absolutely, yes, the checkered flag has been waving for quite some time. The flag man on the start-finish straight is going to have some serious pain in his arm if he carries on for much longer. I believe the session's just switched over, so we can get a bit of a break as the drivers are going to take their formation lap, and then he'll have to start waving the green flag again. So he doesn't get a break, the flagman, but yeah, we got the grid up on the screen, and not really surprised at who's on pole.
Yeah, not surprised at all. Rafael Berbagal, who is running so well lately, doing a fantastic job getting on the pole with Gorka Itoret second, Andres Bertoni, Rodrigo Duran, Antonio Reyes, your S2 championship leader. Austin Winter, who we did see him in the winner's circle last week. We'll see if he can repeat. And you got Alan Schneider, Forns Arabian, Larry McLeod, Maruzo Naselli, Jeff Fritcher, Tim Van Dorleman, rounding out the 12. We're going to go 13th place with Mitchell Weatherly, Dominique Barreau, Stephen Elson, Michael Dobeck, Ian Haycox, Jim McGill, Ken Bately, Simon Mayer, Dan Sadro, Adam Bradshaw, Aaron Vogle, David Bowman, 24th. Back to 25th place, we have Miguel, and then Gorka. We haven't seen this driver yet. He's been really quick in the official practice sessions. Kurt Nunez. Then we got Francisco Bernardo, Maxine De Thomason, Young Si Lin, Bobby West, Tom Gradwell, Yost Simpkins, Christopher Kami, Jeff Jacobson, and then Johan Butinga, Paul Jackson, Ian Gibson, Paulo Breme, Jeff Cantor, Paul Romaninski, Mark Romaninski coming in 43rd, Gary Wolbolt, Brett Nordstrom, Mats, and then we got Arthur Grant, Yuri Cox in 48th, and then Felipe Chauvin, Stevie Ray, Ryan Walker, and then Samuel Dick and Miro. Last three drivers have not put down a qualifying lap, or last four, excuse me. I got a good message from Stevie Ray, from the Ray Esports Racing driver. He sent me one earlier today and said it's going to be real windy here, and we're excited. So we got this long pace lap, Dane. So, that's the one bad thing about this track. The pace lap takes a long time. So these drivers are rolling down and getting ready for a fantastic 40-minute race. So once again, the paint schemes are looking sharp today, Dane.
Absolutely, and they're headed off by the 3 Volcano cars. Used to seeing them up front, always working together, whether that be a strategy or holding other drivers up so that the other ones can catch up, or just bump drafting with each other. We saw that quite a bit back at Monza, so it's always great to see the Volcano team up in the top 3. They got a couple of other drivers further down the field as well, and yeah, it's always good to see a lot of cars on the grid, a lot of pretty awesome paint schemes as well. And yeah, I think I like Arabian's paint scheme quite a bit as well, the old Jaguar scheme. But yeah, we're only a couple of corners into the circuit. We've still got a long way to go before we get going green here.
Yeah, right here you're going to see some good opportunities to make some overtakes. And then real good opportunity. But yeah, Rafael Berbagal up and starting the pole, leading the point standings by 14 over his teammate who's starting right next to him, Gorka Itoret. So, the points are still close. These drivers are still fighting for that championship, trying to minimize the drop weeks. The one thing to keep in mind, 45% fuel load for these cars for this 40-minute race. And they're going to get you about 28 minutes of fuel. We've seen drivers short pit. We've seen drivers, go the whole distance. So we'll see, not the whole distance, go the full 28 minutes and pit at the end. So these drivers always are doing something different. That always keeps me on my toes. So make it a little more difficult for me, but I'm okay with that. So going around the carousel here, real tough spot if you got somebody next to you. Gotta go up to the kink.
Oh, it looks like one of the drivers, I think that might be Arabian potentially, has just been dropping right down the order. I think he might have disconnected. Might have been a connection issue there. As you can see, he's definitely not on the formation lap. And they're all the way down into 52nd is Murawski, and Arabian is nowhere to be seen on the grid. So he will not be taking part in the start. Hopefully we can get him back in the session before too long. But it does seem like we've had a disconnect there as they come towards Canada corner, one of the other overtaking spots on this course.
Yep, like my favorite saying goes, you hate to see it, that connection drop. So unfortunate for him. Getting ready to go to the final turn. of this beautiful Road America. Up the hill, which is, the hill looks large on the sim. When you're in person, it's really tall. Safety car in, get ready to go green for another round here of the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series, presented by 42 Stitches here on Apex Racing TV. Burbagal on the hammer, gonna take the green flag. Great start for Rafael, Gorka, and Duran. The Volcano teammates got Bertoni, Winner, Reyes, Schneider, Naselli behind him. Too wide, about third back. Winner gonna try to make a move on for Duran, not quite there, but you know, like I try to say, relatively clean start so far, but not all the drivers are through turn number 1.
Absolutely. Seems like everything's pretty clean so far. A couple moves being made for position at this point in the race. Winner just got past Bertoni in towards turn number 1. Bertoni running a little bit wide there. And big loser, of course, Arabian. Unfortunate for him, but Winner up 2 places because of that. Arabian obviously starting in 6th. Winner was supposed to start in 7th, but ended up starting in 6th, of course. And Volcano cars still lead. Winner trying to go around the outside of Bertoni, but Bertoni sent one up the inside, and Winner was able to keep that one pretty clean. We got some action further down the field as well.
Yeah, a lot of action here at Road America. It's a just over 4-mile racetrack, and that's one of the longest tracks you have on. Oh, around goes Gradwell. Gradwell looks like one of the Romaninskis are involved. They got the 01. That's a spot for potential Murakami going around. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's always a bit of a bottleneck there. It's a very tricky place. There's always someone ending up side by side through there. Very often contact is made. The problem is that despite getting the yellow flag, we all know that in iRacing no one slows down for yellow flags. And the problem with that is up through that corner is a completely blind crest just before the apex of the corner. So coming through there, if the incident's just past the apex, you don't see it until it's too late. And you end up with a couple of drivers piling into the incident, as we just saw. It's a common sight when you have, especially when you have 52 cars on the grid. As I do believe that Arabian has made it back onto the track, and he is just entering the carousel now.
Yeah, Arabian back out of the track after the disconnect. A lot of drivers that were involved. Some of those drivers were Yuri Cox looked to be involved. Miro, Gary Wolbolt looked to be involved. And Hugh Simpkins was also involved. Yep. Foreign's Arabians finally back onto the racetrack. But back up to the front, it's the Volcano cars 1, 2, 3 of Burbagal, Iturra, and Duran, putting on a gap between Winner, who last week's winner was Austin Winner. So a little bit of a gap between those drivers, but it's a 40-minute race, Dane, so got plenty of time. Pit window will open up around about 12 to 13 minutes time elapsed. But you know, I have a feeling with how long this track is, you never know, you might get an extra lap here, so the drivers might need to take a little bit more fuel or pit a little bit later to make sure they have enough. So 1, 2, 3 Volcano with, look at Reyes back there in 7th, putting on a really good run for that S2 driver. Absolutely,
we're used to seeing him up near the top. Next Spec 2 driver is Mayer down in 16th position. But Reyes, yeah, has some pretty good performances over the course of the season. It's been great to see him improve. He's gained a lot of iRacing, so obviously he's going to be promoted up into Spec 1 at some point, but currently in Spec 2 and really dominating up with the big boys in Spec 1. And yeah, it's great to see the 700 car driver doing really well indeed. We've got another Volcano car. There's the number 21 of Alan Schneider, just behind all of his teammates, just on near the front of the second train that we've got going on. The top 3 have sort of broken a bit of a gap between Duran and Bertoni. As a winner, trying to go, this is going to be the inside now, down and towards Canada corner. Is he going to make the move? He makes the move before the braking zone. Great move, and winner moves up into 4th.
Yeah, winner makes a good move. There's Ken Beardsley. He was in 2nd place in that S2 category.
He is about to be swarmed by a rather large train of cars. There is Yancy Lin holding up quite a few drivers. This is another little train of cars happening here. Another one of the Volcano cars, the number 11, that's Matter. In 26th position. They're going side by side, 2 rows back now for 24th to 27th. Let's see who's going to be later on the brakes in towards turn number 1. And it does seem to be Lin. He holds it around the outside. Brilliant stuff from him. Is he going to get to slow down the time? He does, and he retains 24th position. Meanwhile, 2 drivers behind, Matter and West, still side by side.
Yeah, a lot of side-by-side action here at Road America.
Oh dear, that's Sadro.
Oh yeah, Sadro goes around that 51. Back up to the front, Berbergoglio, Tourette, Duran. About a 1.5-second gap between 3rd and 4th. So they're just, working together, Dane, to try to pull away from 4th, excuse me. So it's just a 3-way battle, and it's a teammate battle. That's what they're wanting to get. But winner right behind them there in 4th, really putting on a good run, showing the way for Bertoni and Schneider. Schneider doesn't want to be the only Volcano car out of the top 3, so he really wants to get back up there.
Absolutely, and if I'm Rodrigo Duran at the moment, I am loving this because running in 3rd, you get all the benefit of the draft. You can save fuel, and he will be saving fuel, lifting and coasting into some of the braking zones, using the draft to catch back up, gain a bit of overspeed, and yeah, he's going to be loving it, saving fuel, which means his pit stop will be shorter when he eventually does take it. You can see now. He's not going flat out, he's lifting and coasting into that braking zone and not losing much time because he just gained all of the time back up through the draft. So he's going to be absolutely loving this right now. And he might be able to leapfrog his 2 teammates in the pit lane if he can carry on saving fuel like this.
Yeah, if you're able to save fuel, we saw it last week with a couple drivers that were saving fuel so they don't take as much, spend less time in the pits. Gain as many positions as they could. One thing to keep in mind when you come down pit road here at any car with a Spec Racer Ford, at any time with a Spec Racer Ford, there's no pit road speed limiter, so you gotta be really cautious on that.
Yeah, and you can hear it still lifting off halfway down the straight. He was lifting off already as his teammates Gorgon and Raphael do a bit of bump drafting down the main straight to try and increase the gap between themselves and Bertoni and Winner. Bertoni down the inside of Winner into towards turn number 3. And that is a good move there. Meanwhile, Nicelli's got ahead of Schneider.
Yeah, you got Winner. Really put on a good run, was trying to play a little defense. Here's a great opportunity for an overtake. You can get a lot of bump draft help. This is a big pack of cars, Dane. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 cars with Fritcher in the back.
Absolutely, and that was a good move by Schneider. Back up into 6 he goes, past Nicelli in the number 21 Volcano car. He now has eyes on Nicelli ahead. Bertoni ahead.
Yeah, Bertoni putting on a really good run. He's sitting there in 5th behind Winner. The gap has shrunk just a little bit. So really good battle here for the S1 category, leading the Spec 2s. You saw him there, Antonio Reyes, and Simon Mayer down in 19th in second. So not a real big battle for the S2 category, but I think like Antonio's said before, a couple interviews, he's trying to run the best he can, even though he is in the Spec 2 class, because he wants to show these big boys he can run with them.
Absolutely. And we've seen it many times that he can. Just holding on now in 9th, Fritcher behind, and there is another huge train of cars led by Tim van Dormelen in the number 20. And yeah, he's got an almighty train of cars behind. Looks like there might have been a bit of contact there. De Beck just behind Elson, now tucks into the draft. He tried to make a move down the inside, didn't work very well. But what will work well is this draft. Elson's going to have the draft of Bro and Weatherly ahead. And De Beck actually has to watch out for Haycox as well. A little bit of bump drafting. But now he's going to lose the position to Haycox. Haycox now very much alongside him. And he just managed to hold around the outside. And he does in the 35, gets a bit of a better run. Through turn 2 in towards turn 3 they go then. Haycox still stuck on that inside. He's not going to have the best exit out of there. He's going to be under pressure now from Jim McGill.
Yeah, Elson really putting on a strong run up into the 14th position, sitting in the draft of Van Dorleman, and then Bureau and Weatherly in front of them. Always good battles here throughout the whole entire track.
Oh, that was very close to contact there. Tim running out wide, cutting off Weatherly, giving him no room at all as they come up over the crest through the sequence of 90-degree corners as they make their way down towards the corkscrew. Usually a place to try and break the draft a little bit, as the drivers have to slow down with the dirty air of the car ahead. See the drivers spreading out just a tiny bit, but Elson once again got Haycox right on his rear bumper, and this could be a move now. Haycox tucks back in through the kink they go down towards Canada Corner.
Yeah, down through the kink, carry a lot of speed going into Canada Corner. Another good opportunity for an overtake. We'll see if Haycox is going to be able to make the move on Elson. That's one thing about these cars, Dane, is it's...
Oh dear. What a save.
Yeah, big save by David Bohm with Simon Mayer right next to him. That could have been that could have been a big disaster there, but great save by David. That corner is really tough, and you got somebody side by side with you, and just did a really good job. Jim McGill going to make his way down pit road. Pit window has just opened up. The first driver in the pits is Jim. Back to Van Dorleman, trying to get on the bumper. Weatherly may try to make an overtake here. Weatherly, going to get a big send from Haycox. We'll see if Ian's going to be able to hold it. Barreau putting on a whale of an effort here. Driving that 108 up to Weatherly. Number 4 leading this pack. You see Ian Haycox side by side with Weatherly. We'll see if Haycox is going to be able to make a move. Haycox makes a power move past Weatherly. Great job by Haycox, but got an off track here.
Yeah, good move up into 11th. He is now leading that train, as is Rafael Barbagal up in front then, with Gorka Tourette just behind him, and then Duran as well. And they've now got just over 2 seconds between Duran and Austin Winner in 4th. You can see how that gap has been created. As Duran actually set the fastest lap of anyone in the race so far last time round. As he continues his charge from 3rd position, just following his other 2 teammates quite nicely as the 3 Volcano cars lead.
Yeah, Volcano cars of Berbigal, Iterate, and Duran out in front, and the gap is about 2 seconds, Dane, so it's stayed relatively close, but just needs a slip up from the top 3 to be able to get a Winner all the way back to Fritcher, able to catch back up. Still a relatively clean race so far, 15.5 minutes down, going to complete lap number 6 here at Road America. You're on Apex Racing TV. If you like what you're seeing now, come back same time, same place next Sunday for this amazing Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series. So, yeah, Dane always put on a really good show here. Take a look at that one, and Aselli was going to try to make a move on Bertoni, but they kind of just need to stay in line for a little bit and try to work up the top 3.
Absolutely. We just had a big chunk of drivers heading down into the pits. You can see Elson, there he is in the 56 car, and then we've got Lynn and West as well. A couple of other drivers further back down the field too. Oh dear, look at this. Very, very tight between all of these guys here. Somehow they all make it through cleanly as they head on to the back straight.
Yeah, onto the back straight. Weatherly, Fritcher, Bohm, right there. Side by side. See if the 122 of Bohm is going to make it stick, but no. Great entrance into the turn by Weatherly. Able to maintain the 12th position. A nice 5-car battle for the battle for 11th place. They're about 10-second gap from the cars in front of them, so they kind of can battle all they want and make it a really good show for us.
That they are. You can see on the mini map just how close all of the drivers from 4th to 10th are. They are really close together, as we are just a bit further behind that. Watching Bradshaw now in his number 5 car. He's got the Spec 2 car of Miguel just ahead of him. And then his Spec 1 rival of Astabe in 17th. Let's see, he's fairly close as all. We've got a car off. That is Bertoni. Winner's going to go all the way around the outside. Up through the penultimate corner they go in towards the final one. Is Schneider going to have a look down the inside? No, he doesn't. Just sticks back for now. He's dropped down a position into 7th. Naselli, the number 1 car, now up into 4th.
Yeah, Naselli up in the 4th, but kind of those battles have allowed the top 3 to pull away. Now a 3-second gap from 3rd to 4th. But as you can see, what a 3-second gap looks like on this long straightaway here at Road America. Almost to the halfway point for this Weekend Warrior Series race here. It's always a blast to take a look at Larry Mcleod here in that 133. Always putting on a good show for us. Trying to find an opportunity to get around the Volcano car of Schneider. He's got Antonio Reyes right behind on this train. Once again, is a 4-car train led by Naselli, and holding up the rear of the train is Fritcher.
Absolutely. As this train developing now, a bit of bump drafting going on. No one's going to make a move, it seems. Although they are very, very close. The gap is, like you just said, around about 3 seconds between them and the first group. A little bit of door banging, if these cars had doors, between the 35 and the number 4 cars, Weatherly and Haycox. David Bohm's just gone all the way around the outside of Barreau there as well.
Yeah, Bohm putting on a really good run here. Third in this pack of cars led by Weatherly. It's 5-car battle. Take a look at Haycock's going to try to make a move on Weatherly. Ian Haycock's of the United Kingdom takes over the lead of that position. Oh, there's the 122 of Bohm going to try to get back around Weatherly. Halfway point here at Road America, here on Apex Racing TV. Mitch Weatherly getting to the bumper of Haycock's. We'll see if he's going to make a move into Canada corner.
Side by side heading into Canada corner. Weatherly stuck behind Haycock's, and David Bohm goes down the inside of the both of them. He's run a little bit wide though. Haycock's going to try and come back to him now inside of this corner. The space is left for him. He now has the outside line, tucks in behind. Barreau looks to the outside of Weatherly through that corner. Not the easiest place to make a move stick. Go around the final corner now, up onto the pit straight. Is anyone going to dive into the pit lane? No, they're not. But yeah, they are close in there, but bump drafting potentially. Is Barreau going to bump Weatherly or go for a move? He gives him a shunt. A little bit of speed boost now. Gradwell's got into the pit lane. They'll gain a position because of it. Still pushing Weatherly down the straight, lifting off now to have a bit more time to react to the braking path of Weatherly as they come through turn 1 to start lap number 9.
Yep, starting lap number 9 here at Road America. One of the more well-known tracks here in the U.S. It's a fun track for me I always try to go to at least once a year. Take a look at your lead pack again, your Volcano cars of Burbagald, Iterate, and Duran. Really just pulling away about a 3-second gap between Duran and the leader of the second pack is Beardsley. $53 cars here for the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series presented by 42 Stitches. So a huge field. Once again, we always have a good pack, always a good show with these race cars. Really enjoy watching this series race. It's just an honor to call it. As we see Naselli, the Alex Kart Racing Raptor car, trying to catch up to Duran, Iterate, and Burbagall. We'll have to see if they can make a move. Expect pit stops coming very soon. Looking back from Bertoni's car at the Volcano number 21 of Alan Schneider. Bertoni makes his way down pit road.
Well, here is the second train of cars then. Led by Naselli with Austin Werner behind, and then Schneider in 6th, who has got Mcleod just behind them. And then Spec 2 leader Antonio Reyes in 8th. Bertoni, the first of the leading drivers to make a pit stop. And who was that? Off the circuit on the inside of turn 2, the 255 car. Mats, the Scandinavian, in a 52nd position.
Yeah, back up to the battle for 4th is Naselli, Winner, Schneider, Mcleod. Really put on a good run. I've been really enjoying this battle here. Expect them to come down pit road momentarily as the pit window is about to close. 28 minutes is about what they get with a 45% fuel load. They're gonna have to come in, get a good entrance. It's a long pit road, so you gotta maintain the pit road speed. Be very critical for them.
Reyes on the back of Mcleod, who's recently joined us as a commentator here at Apex Racing TV. Driver of the number 133 car. We are still hiring, of course. Head to apexracingtv.com/, if I can get my words out, /vacancies to find out more. But Reyes giving him a bit of a bump, not making a move just yet, trying to catch back up to Schneider.
Yeah, definitely looking for people. If you just got that, you know, that peak of interest to call some races, feel free to drop your info there. It's a really good group to be a part of. What's also a really good group to be a part of is this Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series.
Oh,
so
all the top three are
Volcano's in.
Everyone's pitting. Winner's in there as well. The entire top 9 have just pitted at the same time.
Top 9 down their way pit road. Get hard on the brakes. Got to make sure they stay at the that pit road speed limit. You know, no limiter on here, so you got to be very cautious. Volcano car is going to go 1, 2, 3 into pit road, and then we also have all the way down to 18th have pitted so far.
Now let's have a look and see how much fuel Duran saved. I think Duran might end up coming out in front of this train. Oh, he overshot his pit box just a little bit. That's not going to help him at all. Let's see who's going to come out first out of the 3 Volcano cars, and then also, oh, it's Iterette. Walker comes out first, and Winner just behind Duran. Contact is made as they come out of the pit lane.
Yeah, Winner did a great job going down pit road. Able to put himself in 5th position, but would be 4th after David Bohm comes down at pits. I don't believe he's made his pit stop yet. Take a look at a replay of Austin Winner coming out of pit road. Might have an unsafe pit exit. Have to wait and see. You gotta be very cautious here. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be an unsafe pit exit. We'll see if he's comes down pit road. Just gonna have to wait and see as they go around the very, very long road to America. Just over 27.5 minutes down here at 40. David Bohm currently leading the field at the moment. But one thing David hasn't done yet is come down pit road, and he'll have to make it this time. Through the kink. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to make it. But always good to lead some laps here, even if you stay out on the pit cycle. That's how I led most of my laps in my sim racing career.
It's going to be tight for him. We know the pit window is about 28 minutes. And that's just passed. The problem here at Road America is you can't just coast your way to the pit lane like you can at some other tracks. Because as you're about to see, around the final corner we go. Oh, a little bit of oversteer. There is no ways you're coasting your way up that hill. That's just not going to happen. But it looks like he has enough fuel. Up he goes. Hard on the brakes now. Use the hill to your advantage. Brake as late as you dare. Into the pit lane. Monitoring your speed, of course, because there is no pit lane limiter in these cars. He pulls into the slow lane. We've got some bump drafting.
Austin Winner's coming up the road.
Oh dear, that's so unfortunate for him. And he's going to lose a lot of positions because of that. He is probably going to end up... I think that penalty might be a 40-second stop and go. We'll have to see. It's either a drive-through or a 40-second. And we'll have to wait and see. Yep. Into the pit box he goes. And he comes back out, so it was a very short stop and go.
It must have just been a stop and go.
Yeah, it just drops down to 15th position, unfortunately.
Yeah, down to 15th, so winner's gonna have to try to make a charge. Itoret and Verbergal put on a big gap between second and third, and Aselli Duran was a little bit slower in the pits, which was about 2 seconds, so that equals out the distance between the first pack and the second pack. So the Volcano cars are putting on a clinic. Simon Mayer, right on that bumper of Weatherly. Take a look at Austin Winter right in front of him, able to get a good drive in past Vogley. Simon, the Spec 2 driver, currently third in the Spec 2 category at the moment. Once again, Spec 1 drivers over 3,000 iRating, signified from number 0 to 199. And then your Spec 2 category drivers under 3,000 iRating from 200 and above.
Oh, Sokart, the number 255, getting out the way. And this is an interesting battle all the way down. 30th position for these drivers, Shervin just ahead of the 240. Looks like Jeff Jacobson just got passed by Kurt Nunez.
Jeff Jacobson in the 32nd position. Currently in the point standings in 9th in the Spec 2 category battle, and his battles in the championship is with Paul Jackson, Simon Mayer, Yuri Cox, and Brian Short. So those are who he's competing with in the point standings. Foreign's Arabian all the way up to 40th after the disconnection. So, you know, really putting on a good charge, Dane. You know, you really, you know, you hate to see it, having the disconnect. So it's ×3, but, you know, it's put on a really good run.
Yeah, absolutely, working his way back up through the field. And yeah, it was really unfortunate for him. He qualified really well up in 6th as well, so yeah, very unfortunate for him. But oh, look at the wind, 25 miles per hour. That is seriously strong wind. Might be one of the reasons why. Well, let's actually see which direction is that wind coming from. That would be interesting to know, because it could be helping these drivers down the straights, or it could be hampering them down the straights. Look at the line taken by Gorka. He's done his practice. You can take that tarmac all the way up to the wall there. I've utilized that in many a race.
Yeah, they run. They try to run the weather as close as they can. Obviously, in Wisconsin, I'm in South Dakota, so pretty much on the same line from east to west. So fortunately, iRacing can only go down to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, which I know it's definitely a lot colder than that right now. But the wind is just—it's very windy over there in Wisconsin. So they brought that into the sim, and so that's really cool that they do this. They try to keep it as realistic as possible here at Road America. But look at that gap, Dane, from first and second all the way back to third. They just did a great job in pit road, and maybe that had to hurt a little bit with Austin Winter having that penalty. He might have, you know, just kind of caused them a little bit on the pit exit to slow up a little. But it's really still a good battle for the third position, the final spot on the podium.
Absolutely, and we've now got this second train being led by 2 Volcano cars, and then Naselli, Fritzer and Bertoni just behind. Antonio Reyes unfortunately dropping down from this pack, as well as Mcleod even. Those 2 drivers dropping back through the pit stop cycle.
Yep, pit road was it hurt some and it helped some. One of the drivers that hurt was Austin Winter, who's back in 14th, but what it helped was Itoret and Berbergal who were able to make a big gap from their Volcano teammate of Duran and the other Volcano teammate Schneider. Got another car coming out of the pits. It looked like Antonio Reyes was kind of hurt on pit road 2, falls back to 8th, but still leading that Spec 2 category.
As we are moments away from being 5 minutes to go. There it is then, 35 minutes on the clock. That means 5 minutes to go. And with the very long lap time around here at Road America, that is just over 2 laps. It will be 2 laps to go when the leaders pass the start finish, I believe.
Yeah, on board with Bertoni driving in on Fritcher. Fritcher having a really good run. He's wrecked out a couple races so far this season, but really the luck has been on his side so far as we're 35.5 minutes into this 40-minute race here at Road America for the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series presented by 42 Stitches here on Apex Racing TV. So take a look at Bertoni. Just got tries to drive in a little bit deeper. And David Bulb was just might have fallen back a little bit, but yeah, Bertoni put on a really good run up in 7th, trying to get around Fritcher. Nice little battle. We got a 6-car battle.
Oh, something's happened to Mayer. That's not where you want the car to be going. Got a bit of damage to the front left of that car, and oh dear. Philippe Chauvin in the 59 car. That is just after turn... Yeah, that's just after turn 5. After the back straight. Separate incidents. For those two, and who is that? Stephen Beardsley. Everyone's spinning all at the same time. Just before the end of the race, Beardsley losing a lot of positions, and he is going to be stuck there for quite some time because his car is pretty much just on the racing line. He's got a bit of a gap now. He's not going though. And he retires.
Yeah, he was sitting all by himself. Unfortunately, he retired from the race. 37 minutes down here at Road America. Average lap time is 2:35, so we'll get another lap. What could be coming to the white flag in about 2.5 minutes. Put on another stellar effort here. Is this Weekend Warrior Series Spec Racer 4? It's such a fun car. You know, Dane, I put a couple laps in here earlier because I just didn't have that much time to drive because it takes forever to go around the track. But yeah, I was much slower than everybody on this field So big shout out to all the drivers making it through this race so far. 37.5 down. Take the white flag this time by. We take a look at Naselli going on Schneider. Has a good run, but Schneider's got the draft of his teammate Duran, so we'll see if that's going to help him out. But Naselli needs to get a big send in here if he wants to overtake 2 positions in 1 corner. Very deep, but goes wide. It's going to allow Duran to get to the inside here, the preferred lane. You got Schneider's got a big smile on his face. As you can see, his beautiful helmet smiling there. Bertoni goes a little wide there, but able to maintain. There's Fritcher still sitting in an opportunity to try to work his way to a podium position. Great battle here for the final spot on the podium, led by Duran and then Naselli, who put a strong send into 3rd, but kind of overshot it a little bit. So you have another opportunity around the carousel, just through the kink. Naselli's got a big run. On board with Duran. Able to get a little bit closer. Coming around the final turn, Itoret and Berbergal going to take the white flag here at Road America. 1 lap to go. But right now the battle is for the final spot on the podium as they take the white flag as well. Here at Road America, 2.5 minutes left of this race, or 2.5 minute lap time left. Fritcher, not sure what happened to him, but he is off track. But the battle for the lead is Itoret and Berbergal. Itoret's got a nice half-second gap, but Raphael still has the toe, so can make a move. Five-second gap between the lead pack and the second pack, as you see them in the backs of your screen. They got a nice little line of cars. Raphael is going to really need to pick up the pace here if he wants to get up to Itoret and make a move.
I don't think he's going to be close enough. He's not going to be close enough to make a move into turn 5, is he? No, I thought he might have looked for it for a second. Schneider's just been sent backwards down the main straight, although Bertoni doesn't get the best of exits, but it's just about enough. Synchronized driving from the two Volcano cars there. As this is the white flag lap, remember, for most of these drivers. As the D2 cars head their way into the 90-degree left before the Carousel. Bohm defending from Dominique Barreau, who gets a little bit of a tap behind from Jim McGill. And he's now got Austin Wenner, who's fighting his way back up through the field. He moves up into 12th.
Coming out of the Carousel through the kink, Itoret and Berbergal. Raphael's got a big run. Is Itoret gonna block? He's gonna defend very well. He's gonna have to make a move soon, otherwise the win's gonna go to Itoret. Raphael's gonna really need to make a move. Through the final corner. Is he gonna give him a little bit of a bump? Not able to get to the bumper. Oh, Itoret goes wide. Itoret goes wide. It's gonna allow Berbergal to go side by side. We're gonna have a side by side for the finish. It's gonna be a drag race.
Berbergal has it. Surely. Oh, it's so close. I think Gorka got it.
Oh, Gorka Itoret with the race win, and then Bertoni put on the quickest time in 5th, and Naselli's gonna round out the podium. Excuse me, but wow, that just, you gotta be so careful, Dane. I mean, pushing the limits. We take a look at Weatherly. Might have a little side-by-side battle here. Weatherly and Gorka side-by-side for the finish for them. Lots of side-by-side action. Another photo finish. It was a drag race, and they touched a little bit, but it's a good finish, what we like to see.
Oh. Demo Derby starting a bit early for one of the drivers there. Another side-by-side finish. It's the 18 car that's going to win this one. That's Kurt Nunez just finishing ahead of Cox. And moving on from that, Samuel Dick in 29th and Elsa running up the top 30.
What a great battle for the final positions. We had side-by-side for the win, side-by-side for the podium finish of Naselli, and then multiple side-by-sides. Daniel Sadro and Berbergal, they both lost their position by .018. So yeah, really close finish here at Road America. There's your winner, Gorka Itoret, who put on a stellar effort.
And it's time for my favorite part of the evening. Demo Derby, all of the Volcano cars. That's Berbergal. His car is already a little bit damaged there, and the Volcano cars all having a bit of a party on their own here in the Carousel. Not too sure what's happening here. They're making a roadblock. That's what's happening. Is this the start of the demo derby, maybe? I'm waiting for it. Interesting things are happening here in the Carousel for the Spec Racer 4 Weekend Warriors series, and the results are up on the screen.
Yeah, the Volcano cars side by side. Gorka Itaret getting the win, and we got Rafael Berbagal in second, and Sally gonna round out your podium positions. Then Rodrigo Duran, Andres Bertoni, Alan Schneider, Antonio Reyes, Larry McLeod, Ian Haycox, David Bohm, Jim McGill, Austin Winter, Dominique Barreau, Michael DeBeck, Tim Van Dorleman, Francesco Bernardo, Young C. Lin, Gorka in 18th. We go to 19th, Mitch Weatherly, then Maxime de Tomarassen, Aaron Vogley, Ken Bately, Bobby West, Adam Bradshaw, Simon Mayer, Jeff Jacobson, Kurt Nunez, Yuri Cox. In 28th, down the 29th, we have Samuel Dick, and then Steven Ellison, Dan Sadro, Johan Batinga, Florence Arabian, Just Simpkins, Ian Gibson, Miguel Mata, Gary Wolbolt, Jeff Fritcher in 38th, down to 39th. In 39th position, we have Ryan Walker. They got cars wrecking in front of me. It's so hard to stay focused. And then we got Miro, then Paul Romanitsky, 42nd, Jeff Canner, Stevie Ray, Chris Mercami, Brett Nordstrom, Felipe Chauvin, Stephen Beardsley, Mark Romanitsky in 48th. 49th, Arthur Grant, and we got Mats, Paul Jackson, Paulo Breme, and Tom Gradwell. So, Dane, what another fantastic race here for the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warrior Series.
Oh, yeah, it's been an absolutely brilliant round. Austin Winner's on his roof, up against the barriers. Lots of drivers ending up on their roof, and at the end of the race there, it's good to see them all having a bit of fun after the race. But oh yeah, there we go. That's the number 4.
Yeah, they're having a great time.
They're having a fantastic time. The cars now resemble NASCAR modifieds more than they do Spec Racer Fords, but oh well. This is different to see. The smoke fills the screen as one of the drivers' car. Yeah, that really does look like a NASCAR modified now.
Yeah, let's grab Antonio Reyes real quick. Antonio, congratulations on another Spec 2 race win. How was the race for you?
Good night, guys. Good night, everyone. Yeah, thank you for the. Yeah, it was very nice, but it was a little disappointing when stop for the refuel. I lost that train, and without draft, I couldn't just keep up. So, and anyway, it was a 7. I think I get the first again on the Spec 2, or someone in front of me. I don't know.
Yeah, you're able to get the win again.
Okay, thank you.
Put a big points gap.
All right, that's cool.
But congrats on a great run.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a very kind of. I'm not used to race with these top drivers, fastest drivers. So in order to keep up with them, I was kind of scary, but yeah, but somehow. I managed to be among them and still, keep going. And yeah, it was a nice race. I really appreciate the race. It was really funny.
Well, before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank?
Oh, as usual, the father of this series, the Steve Ray, and all the drivers participating, and also as well for the sponsor of this broadcasting series. And for you guys, you do a great job. So I'm always pleased to see. I cannot wait to watch the race after the race. So
that's
you're
awesome.
doing a pretty job. Okay.
Awesome. Well, Antonio, you're just a couple races away to you're going to be running in the top pack. I know it's coming soon. You're a fantastic driver. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you guys. Thank you.
That's Antonio Reyes. Another great battle here with the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warriors Series presented by 42 Stitches. Dane, any last thoughts?
I'm just looking forward to the next round, to be honest. It was a fantastic round once again at Road America. Gave us some Pretty good racing. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. Only a couple rounds left.
Yeah, only a couple rounds left. Unfortunately, I will not be here next week. So if you like hearing my beautiful voice, I'm sorry. But from everybody here at Apex Racing TV, Samuli Kumo in the production booth, and then Dane was also joining me alongside in the commentary booth. I am Avery McDonald. Once again, if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time here on Apex Racing TV.